And welcome back to the ROC Texas State Championship, sponsored by TCGplayer.com, hosted by Space Cadets Gaming, and brought to you by Nerd Thug Radio. I'm your host, Cole Baldridge, and joining me, as always, is Crazy Zach. How you doing, man?
Oh, not too shabby. I'm excited for this final round.
I know.
For the Elite Eight, as it were.
We have seen some interesting plays so far, and as is seeming to be tradition, we have a returning player. Luke Wynn is facing off against fellow Ragnarok member Phil Moore. Now, let's go over, for those of you joining back, let's go over Luke's team real quick. He has Mini Shredder, he has the Joker's Wild Ha Joker at 50 points, with Proteus and the Supreme Intelligence assigned to it. Also joining is Ironheart, Peace Machine, and the Pocket Tank, with the Boxing Ring, Superman ID, Spider-Man ID, Doctor Strange ID, Level 7 ID, and Green Arrow ID. Now, joining on Phil's side is Deadpool 33-7B Prime Deadpool. It's one of the shifting focus Deadpools. There's Deadpool Merc with the Mouth, equipped with the Clixo. There is the Joker's Wild Joker at 30 points, Ironheart at 25, Peace Machine at 50, and the Atom at 15 with a Shield ID and Superman ID in tow.
So we got a lot of crossover on this one. Both teams have a Joker, Ha Joker it looks like. Both have Ironheart, both have Peace Machine. Two Deadpools on Phil's side, as well as an Atom. This is going to be an interesting round, I think. This is the first round I think we've done so far that doesn't have Jakeem.
Oh, I think you actually are right. This is our first Jakeem-less round.
Nice.
So
it's an exciting time.
Yeah, it's not really. It's kind of not surprising to see that there's a lot of overlap with these teams since they're on the same team and they've undoubtedly been collaborating and testing up to this event.
Sure.
So the support does have a lot of match. As we came across, both Peace Machines are going to nerf damaged at 3, so there's going to be nothing more dealt than 3.
This could be a long round potentially, I would think.
No, both teams are going to have to contest. We're taking out the Ironheart, which could, whether it dies on the first hit or the last hit, is kind of a toss-up. So, what do you think of the little minutia in this teams?
I don't know. I really like Tiny Shredder. Always glad to see him back on the board. And last round, I really learned to like the Peace Machine. Like, I think that's a powerful piece to play on the board where every hit is no stronger than a 3. I think that should make for an interesting thing. And then, obviously, I'm always a fan of Deadpool, no matter what incarnation we're talking about.
So, speaking of him, let's take a little look real quick. We have Deadpool Merc with the Mouth. We saw this earlier. We saw this earlier in round 1 with Elliot's team. So he is 70 points. He's a title character, which, for those who play Magic the Gathering, means he's basically a planeswalker. So the first half of his dial is more range combat oriented with running shot and energy shield deflection, and the back half of the dial is close combat with charge, blades, claw feigns, and combat reflexes. And he has a couple of clicks of regeneration in the middle. So he can take a free action to use one of his title character abilities to heal every turn. And so that combined with the other Deadpool, it means that all the free damage that the Shredder is going to pop out, the little damage that the Joker is going to deal, is going to be easily mitigated by the automatic healing that these Deadpools are going to do. Looking at the Prime Deadpool, he has a trait that says the healing factor on the double. It says when Deadpool takes damage after actions resolved, roll a d6, heal Deadpool half the result.
What?
Yeah.
That's incredible. That's a big thing, it seems like to me.
That can be incredibly
It
hard
almost
to
takes
take
away
down.
all the effectiveness of the Tiny Shredder as long as Deadpool keeps him surrounded.
That seems to be the case. Now, because the Shredder's not going to be able to ping those to much effect, really. So, and the same thing is for the Joker. So, the other viable targets seem to be Ironheart or Peace Machine as far as those free damage takes place. But Phil's a smart player, and he's going to have those carefully guarded so that there's the least amount of openers as possible.
It almost seems like this is going to come down to Deadpool and the Atom versus Tiny Shredder and Proteus.
Yeah,
that's the only non-overlap I see here. Everything else is just kind of up to the strength of the players themselves.
Yeah, that is true. They both are definitely competent players, and I think this game may be decided in who takes out the most supporting pieces as well. Now they both have ID cards on the sideline, and they could give away points that way. So maybe
like a lot of Looks like a lot of Phil's sideline characters are also Deadpools.
Oh yeah,
which is fun.
The rare Deadpool has this trait called Shifting Focus Deadpool, and it reads like this: give Deadpool a free action if you began your turn on the map. Replace him with another character with this trait on the same click number. So he just filled his sidelines with as many Shifting Focus Deadpools as option, and they all have different capabilities. Like one's good at close combat, one's good at range combat. This one heals a lot. One does free movement.
Wow.
So he brings his own versatility to the board for a good 75 points.
So how big a factor is the fact that both of these guys are part of Team Ragnarok? Is this going to be an incestuous match in that they both know each other's strengths and weaknesses? How much of a role do you think that's going to play?
They probably definitely do know each other's strengths and weaknesses. Presumably that they've been collaborating and bouncing ideas off each other as good teams do. And so with enough practice and experience, I think that they both have a good idea of what the other is capable, and it's definitely going to be one of the more skill-intensive matches we've seen all day.
So what are we seeing on the board so far?
Right now, Phil has set up an early game. Phil set up early game by occupying the boxing ring and establishing dominance right there. He has Phil's Joker and Deadpool and Ironheart are currently in the ring, which means that the other Shredders, or the Shredder and Joker, are going to have to enter the ring if they want to do any substantial amount of damage. So once that is in there, Phil might be able to pop out, but close combat Deadpool would be able to deal more damage that way. It's definitely going to be a grindy match for sure.
Oh yeah, so that will be it. It's just okay. That's that.
It's like a lot of careful consideration in the early in the round, like we've seen many times before.
Oh,
Seems
yes.
like there's not many players who just come out guns blazing in HeroClix. It's a lot of thoughtful consideration of what's going to happen next.
Yes,
Not a lot of Hulk's gambits today.
No, especially with this match, it's going to be a lot of careful planning and making sure that there are no mistakes, because these guys are both seasoned. They're both seasoned players and have played in many rocks, and they will take the first opportunity to gain an advantage that they see. If I were a betting,
counting out and putting his guy inside. Is that
it's Ironheart. Both Ironhearts have now entered the ring. Now, if I were to guess and to wonder what would be in their heads, my guess would be to see who would take out the other Ironheart first, because that's going to be the weak link in both their teams.
right? Because it's so up in the air. How many actual hits?
Deadpool takes damage already from Shredder.
Uh-oh.
All right. So we're going to see the Prime Deadpool's healing in action right now. Alright, rolling Ironheart, and that's a 4. So Phil's Ironheart now has 2 broken armor tokens, and she gets to fight another day. Alright, so he's gonna. Alright, so he's gonna outwit. Luke's gonna outwit the Deadpool's sidestep. And he carries this party outside the boxing ring. So he just did a quick hit and run.
So Ironheart pulls out Joker for Luke as well as Mini Shredder
Yes.
from Manny, Louisiana, for those of you listening at home.
Manny Shredder from Manny, Louisiana is not going to be taking down that Deadpool by himself.
So he's 19 right now?
Sadly, the hinder doesn't count.
So Phil's back alone in the ring. See what happens here. A lot of activity in this last round at these other tables as well, waiting for the Elite 8 to start this afternoon. Where we will crown a state champion.
He's considering what to do right now with his Deadpool. Now, okay, something interesting. So for those of you viewing, you may notice the orange dotted lines around the map. So those are glass walls. They're considered blocking terrain, but they don't hinder line of fire. Uh-oh. So that boxing ring in there is going to act as one giant hindering terrain because it's going to hinder people trying to get in and out of the corridors unless they want to try to break down the glass. And so Phil has called in the Colossal Retaliator, who's going to try to cluster attack Shredder, Ironheart, and the Joker.
I do like to see that big atom on the board.
He's
4 feet tall, takes up a ton of squares. It's hard to tell from this bird's eye view cam.
10 attack. So that deals 2 penetrating damage to Shredder.
9 to a 12.
It's 2 penetrating damage to all of Luke's characters.
Yes, and the Joker cannot use super senses. And Luke's Ironheart now has a second broken token, and she gets to lead the fight of the day. Now this did open up Phil for an opportunity to give away 15 points. Though he was probably he might have thought that it would have been okay if Ironheart went and died anyway. But the way I see this going right now is that Joker's going to try to deal as much. Joker's going to possibly carry around Mini Shredder and deal as much free damage to Ironheart as possible. Kind of like what we saw Drew poisoning Luke's Ironheart in the last match.
How many characters can Joker carry at a time?
Currently, he can carry one tiny character.
One what?
One tiny character.
Oh, we got Merc with a mouth in the ring as well.
Merc with the mouth has entered the game.
Oh.
Alright, so it looks like he's trying to try to...
I think Phil there forgot that he was shooting outside the ring.
Yeah, that's true.
He's trying to decide to keep Deadpool in or not.
It looks like he's just going to take a push, or he's just going to take an unavoidable damage. I'm going to have to pick new powers. Right now what Phil can do is, Phil can just, if he's on click 2, he can keep healing and then taking damage and healing and taking damage and just racking up those plot point tokens. So we can eventually build off to do an alt or use his -2 ability to prevent Luke from increasing combat values for a turn.
Deadpool's such a great comic book character. He's one of my favorites to read. I love a guy who breaks the fourth wall. And apparently he's a force to be reckoned with in HeroClix as well.
Yeah, he has a history of having having sometimes difficult pieces to kill.
Yeah, which makes a lot of sense. It's one of the times where the narrative of a character lines up with the HeroClix playability of the character, which I always am a fan of.
Indeed it does. Alright, so Phil's thinking of moving up his Peace Machine right now. Sidestep.
This is the first round we've also seen where actually having the boxing ring makes a lot of sense. If this is the Avengers headquarters, obviously they have a sparring place. Well, elsewhere we've seen it in the woods, I think, is where the roof of some building. Like, this is the first time it actually makes sense in context to me.
Yeah, those shield agents sure would want to have proper combat preparedness.
Oh, you can retaliate? I didn't hit. I didn't hit.
All right, so
Luke's considering his moves here. Right about almost to 30 minutes left in the round. First 15 minutes, not a lot of action, not a lot of characters lost or points gained. But
so what do you? Now, mind you, if this does event result in a 0-0 tie, both players will be assigned a loss.
oh, really?
Yes, that's how it goes if it's a 0-0 tie. So, but I really don't, with the number of low point figures and the number of volatility, especially with 2 Ironhearts, that probably will not be.
Seems like somebody should be able to get some points
Oh,
somewhere
looks like
here.
Luke is calling out Superman already. Now,
Luke is calling out Superman? Does he lose the points or does Phil?
Phil gains the points because Luke scored them.
Gotcha.
Or Luke scores the ID card, and so he Looks like he is going to attack Deadpool.
It's Boxing Glove Superman, perhaps the worst character in all of comicdom.
I don't know. He has 11. He has Charge and Flurry and Sidestep.
I don't disagree that he's a strong character in HeroClix, but I think we can all agree that Superman's the worst character in comics.
So
Except for Matter Eater Lad.
So he's going to try to put. He missed a hit. So Deadpool should be on click number 3 right now. Now the healing trait kicks in. And that's
So
a
he heals
2.
up 2,
So he goes
so
back
that's-
to click number 2.
Oh, Joker using plasticity again. Again, one of those narrative forms that doesn't make any sense. Don't understand how the Joker could be plastic, but nevertheless.
Okay, so he tried to carry away. He tried to carry around Mini Shredder. It looks like he's doing so. That's going to take Superman off the map. So Luke won't be, or so Phil won't be able to retaliate against him and try to score some points. Alright, so now he's going to be dealing damage. Oh, and Luke takes out the Atom.
Adam is donezo.
And that will put Luke ahead by 5 points.
10 points.
Or we'll put him ahead by 50. Yeah, 10 points.
Wow. So Luke drawing first blood based on an actual attack rather than bringing out a spare.
And that puts him, it pays off by putting him ahead in the lead. See, he's going to try to bring up Peace Machine for a little bit of more maneuverability.
How strong a character for attack is somebody called Peace Machine?
Not at all.
I wouldn't think so.
No, but he does have that outwit. So moving that around certainly would be good. So Luke is trying to figure out what to do, and he clears and ends his turn. All right, now Phil has the opportunity to come back and score some more points. How do you think he could get ahead in the game right now?
And I don't know. There's so much. There's such a lot of activity on the board right now, and so many things that limit both the effectiveness of attacks and even the attacks once they land. It seems like it's almost at a war of attrition situation so far.
No doubt it is.
I think it's a lot more about positioning, at least it looks like to me, for them right now. Getting hits where they can, but really trying to position themselves for that one big hit.
Yeah, it certainly is. I think right now Phil might be able to go after the Ironheart and try to take it down, but then again, Luke's Ironheart could roll out of damage.
Yeah, who can tell with Ironheart at this point?
It's just a bit of a gamble at this point. 6. Oh, it looks like he's going to try to maneuver away.
He's bringing in the ha 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 Joker.
And it looks like he is going to... Oh, and
We take
that
Ironheart
is-
off the board.
Ironheart is now down.
25 points to Phil.
Definitely the move Phil was looking for. Certainly places him in the lead by 15 points.
I wonder if this is going to be a back and forth, whoever attacks last wins kind of situation.
It may very well be, though they're quickly running out of easy pieces to kill.
Yeah, that is true.
See, because Phil's always going to be healing back up. The Jokers are notoriously hard to kill. So the ball is definitely in his court now. He just has to keep his Ironheart alive.
Does it really benefit, besides a point situation, I guess, in terms of strategy, does it benefit either player to take out the Peace Machine since the other one has one as well? It kind of seems like the biggest effects of the Peace Machine are the fact that they can reduce damage to 3 clicks only. So if one's on the board, it's the same as being 2.
That is true. Taking out the other Peace Machine isn't going to disrupt their strategy, and he's only 4 clicks long. So, say if either player can go take out the other one, that is going to put them ahead. Looks like that might be what Phil's about to do right now.
Oh, is he attacking the Merc with the Merc?
Yeah, except that would be a miss. It's right now. It's about them trying to find out the most efficient way to score points as they can.
How hard is it to take the pocket tank out of the game?
If you kill it before it pops out, it's only 1 click of health. It's 18 defense with toughness, so it's not that difficult. Though if they get to throw it out and expand it, there is more point potential. Although I could easily see them just taking it out for the points.
Kind of seems like it'd be nice to get rid of it early on, so to remove that worry from a tank that expands for no reason in the middle of a fight.
It could. Before the errata took place, it did 2 penetrating damage, and that was really powerful, just for 8 points. It was at the point where if a team did not include Chem Tank, you were doing it wrong. So with the attack, it just deals just 2 normal damage, if I recall, instead of normal damage. So it's not as big of a threat anymore. But that doesn't stop Phil from going after Luke's Peace Machine and the tank as well.
Phil's Peace Machine is also bringing along Ironheart.
It's a smart move because Peace Machine's won't be doing much damage to Ironheart.
It kind of seems like the mini shredder is being wasted on a character that can self-heal so quickly as well.
It could. I think Luke might be trying to just spam as much damage as possible. Because he could be dealing 3 damage, and depending if the Joker has a wit or not, he could put him on click 4, putting another 2 5s. But it's just he's going to have to rely on poor healing rolls from Phil in order to make progress over time.
Moving around Mini Shredder and the ha 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 Joker of Luke's. That's nice. Like to see Mini Shredder getting some action on the board.
Alright, let's see what we have here. Alright, so his Peace Machine took some more attacks.
As well as Ironheart. Oh, and Deadpool.
Yeah, that Manny Shredder.
That Shredder is a rough guy.
Manny, Missouri, a rough part of town.
Manny, Louisiana? Yeah. It's a very small town that only really has a lake and a gas station.
It sounds like a lot of free time to go train.
Yeah, really a lot of time to hone his big head, tiny body skills, for sure.
Alright. Joker.
It's interesting that the effects of Mini Shredder as well don't have any bearing on the fact that he's up in the ring and they're on the ground.
Yeah, Clicks does not do a lot of 3D pieces very often. When they do, it does have an effect on the game.
Right. Luke looks like he's carefully considering his next move. What are we seeing here? Let's see.
Only a little under 22 minutes left in the game.
The tank is still small as well, which I think is the longest we've seen a tank in a round stay non-expanded.
That is true. Though Luke didn't use it last game either.
That is, yeah. I wonder if that's a pattern for Luke or if he's saving it for an absolutely necessary situation.
I mean, it is situational because if it does expand, it goes from giving away 8 points to giving away 50.
Right. And if you're not near any of your opponent's pieces, it doesn't do a lot of good to expand it. Just like a real tank. They don't take real tanks out of their boxes until, they're ready to be used.
Yeah, then again, real tanks don't have pin particle tanks.
That's true. That is true. That's been my experience with real tanks as well.
So it doesn't. Yeah. Still trying to figure out what the.
Oh. Are you moving?
Oh wait.
Luke certainly doesn't feel any need to rush here, does he?
Time is not on his side, unlike last game. He's gonna have to try to recover somehow. Taking out Ironheart is Ironheart's probably gonna help him do that.
Hopefully.
Though he has to do it efficiently. All right.
I think Peace Machine's attacking the other Peace Machine now.
Alright, let's see what's going to happen.
Well, Luke's trying to get Peace Machine to use a heavy object attack. There is a question on the table, though, about whether or not he can see it in line of sight.
Yeah, that's on the more glary part of the table, so we up in the booth can't really see that.
Yeah, there do seem to be about 3 or 4 characters in his way, though.
Wait, he's trying Peace Machine trying to attack Peace Machine, right?
No, he's trying to grab a heavy object in the ring. Looks like he gave up on that idea.
He's just going to try to play it more conservatively.
I'm really ready to see a little fake character bloodshed here.
Well, let's see what Luke's next option is. He tries to use that Shredder a little more. So what do you think Phil's next move would be?
I think you might as well get rid of Peace Machine while you're so close.
Yeah, that does seem to be his.
Yeah, I put some
right
distance
now.
between myself and Mini Shredder and try to rack up what points I can before pushing that final attack on him.
Yes. I mean, they're gonna have. I think they're gonna have to break away from Mini Shredder as well. And Mini Shredder does have plasticity.
Oh yeah, that does mean he can spread out into a pool over several squares on the board, correct?
Yep, it's gonna be so sticky that they can't move away from
Yeah,
him.
like a quicksand effect, I think is what it's called in technical science terms, science-y terms.
Although what'll be interesting is Luke has pretty high standing, and since he was here last match, he probably has a pretty solid win record.
Yeah.
What's their win-loss record so far on their build sheets?
Let's see. We've got for Phil. For Phil, we have 4 wins, no losses.
All right.
Same for Luke.
Oh, so they're both 4-0. So it's
Yeah.
likely. So regardless of how many points each player scores, it's likely that they will be in top 8.
Yeah, I think they'll both make it to the Elite 8 or the top 8. I'm not sure what the exact ROC terms are for it, but I'm going to call it the Elite 8 because I'm a big fan of alliteration, like Stan Lee. That's not the only thing Stan Lee and I have in common, you know. We both hated Superman. We both like comic books. Stan Lee and I are a lot alike.
One of them's the father of modern comics as we know it. The other one's angry all the time.
I'm a reader of modern comics. That counts.
Oh, that's fair enough.
Not too modern. All right. So what's Phil doing? Let's see. Get away from Shredder, Phil.
Phil's going to have to try to figure out how to do that. Now, Peace Machine does have telekinesis, so Peace Machine could...
Telekinesis, for those of you at home who don't know, means the ability to smell the future.
Yes. So telekinesis could help maneuver Merc with the mouth away, although it looks like Peace Machine is doing just fine getting out of the way.
Oh, so we're doing an attack on Mini Shredder, it looks like.
Huh.
That'll be interesting.
Should be interesting indeed. Oh, Deadpool Merc with the mouth is about to lay into Mini Shredder.
I've not yet seen Mini Shredder taken out of a game we've watched today either.
Well, he did lose in round 2.
Oh yes, you are correct. Oh, but I think that went to points at the time though, didn't it? Or a concession.
Well,
I can't remember.
The only character left was Clone Shredder. Or Shredder Clone.
Oh yes, you're right. The one where we didn't get to see the Shark Shredder. Yeah, that was. I really felt that as a loss for myself personally.
Oh! Looks like Deadpool is going to go. Deadpool's going to go for it.
Going after Peace Machine.
So he's going to have to break away, assuming that Peace Machine outwitted the sidestep and stealth from Mini Shredder. And that's going to increase his chances of going in and attacking Peace Machine. Though Peace Machine hasn't taken damage yet, has he?
No, I don't believe so. He stayed pretty much in that corner of the board, so I don't know if he's been even close enough for another character to get damage yet.
So Deadpool could have 4 damage off Eclipse out. So he could put Peace Machine on his last click. Oh, looks like he is. Looks like he's gonna clear tokens. And
What the heck?
Go ahead.
What's going on here? It's a curious turn of events. I really thought we were going to see some action. Approaching the 15-minute mark. 30 minutes now is a very low-scoring round, especially compared to what we've seen so far. Although we have seen some rounds where a lot of points are scored in the last few minutes, so...
Yeah, there definitely is living up to our expectations of being quite a grindy match.
Yeah.
Right. I think Luke's kind of trying to figure out what to do here to get ahead. I mean, he could try to get away from that crowd and start dealing damage back to Ironheart.
Yeah, that seems like it'd be a good thing to do. Where is Ironheart on the board?
Ironheart is just to the left of Mini Shredder.
Oh, I see.
There are different ways you could do this. Well, he could try to use a move action to move. Mini Shredder could use a move action to move away from Ironheart, or Joker could pick up Mini Shredder and then drop him off the way, and the Mini Shredder could sidestep back and deal with damage.
Yeah.
Let's see what he's gonna do. Looks like he's gonna try to break away and sidestep. Oh, that was a fail.
Huh.
Alright, Shredder's gonna try to break away. The dice are not working out in his favor.
You hate to see that. So Mini Shredder's pretty hemmed in, as is Joker.
They're not really going
If I was Luke right now, I'd be seriously thinking about that tank.
It possibly could, but against either Deadpool, who's going to recoup that damage quickly, or against Phil's Joker, which it doesn't really matter. At that point, it's just going to be.
I guess you're right. Just seems like nothing is working out in his favor right now.
Yeah, it certainly isn't. And Luke's going to be calling him Spider-Man.
Oh, I like to see that.
And maybe he's going to try to. He's going to try to take an attack at Ironheart.
Spider-Man worked out pretty well for Luke last time, if I remember correctly.
It did. Let's see if he has the same effectiveness.
Shooting penguin with energy explosion. What's your defense?
All right.
Now we've got Peace Machine in the ring as well.
Peace Machine has joined the fight. I think he's going to try to attack the Prime Deadpool and do as much damage as possible.
Just about 12 minutes left. We're really getting it down to the wire here, I think.
All right, let's see what's happening. That is a hit.
It's a hit on Phil's Peace Machine. So what does that put him?
It is. Does it kill it? Well, let's see. Uh-oh.
Oh, and that will take Phil's Peace Machine out.
That's going to bring Luke back up into the lead at 65 points. So he can now rest comfortably and know that he has things in hand.
Yeah, it looks like it's a 30-point lead. Still a lot of characters on the board.
It is. Phil doesn't have the Ironheart to take out, and of the characters left, Mini Shredder is either Mini Shredder or Peace Machine are the weak links right now.
Yeah.
Well, those are the pieces we probably should expect to see him to focus his priorities.
Yeah. That's where I'd be really pushing to attack at this point if I was Phil.
So with the mass force making when you free attack, if he has counter choices, does he have
That Mini Shredder will give Phil 90 points as well. So even though between all the Deadpools, it's not taking a lot from him, that 90 points could really put him in a good situation in the last 10 minutes.
That 90 points definitely would do it. It's a question of, it's really, at this point, a question of who can take out the most support right now. Because Phil could take out the Peace Machine, and then he could also take out, or Luke could take out the Ironheart.
How hard is it to take out Mini Shredder?
Mini Shredder is about 6 clicks long, and when he dies, he will come back on click number 4.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's going to be even more actions to try to just get him down there.
So not only when he gets KO'd for the first time, he comes back, but he also gets put next to one of their characters, which deals them a damage, correct?
No, it's a placement, so it's not a movement.
Ah, okay.
And an opponent places adjacent to one of their characters. And still, though, it would not put them in a very good position.
Right.
So Phil right now, his best choices would be to go after either the Ironheart or the Peace Machine.
Oh yeah, Ironheart is still on the board. I keep forgetting about Ironheart.
Let's see. It's a question of if he can cut past all of Luke's defensive pieces at this point.
9 minutes left in the round. We're really, really getting close now.
I know. This most likely would be.
This will be the lowest scoring game we've seen today.
Might go wager to see it's the lowest scoring game of the whole whole
That wouldn't surprise me. It also wouldn't surprise me to see these two play one another again.
I fully expect. I would not be surprised to see them playing each other in top 8. Alright, so what do we have?
10 gets a 19.
Alright, so Luke's trying to Phil's trying to figure out what exactly he can do right now. And it looks like he's going to...
Action, no damage, though, it looks like.
Did not quite have enough there to hit that Shredder.
Here's that other Deadpool, let's see.
Let's see. I wonder how many plot points Deadpool's at. Looks like he could be at 6 right now. Which means he could activate the slow-mo bullet time and then try to attack Mini Shredder and Peace Machine for 2 penetrating damage each.
That'd be an interesting move. I'd like to see that.
We'll have to see how that plays out.
Oh, it looks like he's switching out his Deadpool for another one with that shifting focus move.
Oh, he's trading off that resilience and healing power for more damage potential. Find out. Oh, that's looks like it's gonna be the Deadpool number 1. So let's take a look at what that has to offer. So right now it number 1. So it appears to be the DPXF number 1 Deadpool. Oh, it's the
017.
Oh, it's the number 17 Deadpool. Alright, so this one over here is more range combat focused, and so what he does is he has penetrating psychic blast, and once he deals damage, he can get bang tokens onto his card, and he can remove those, then re-roll his attacks.
We saw Mini Shredder give the new Deadpool.
Luke saw the opening and went for it. That healing factor is not there anymore. All right, that's going to be a flurry from.
Thank you, Bill.
Oh, that could be the kill right there.
Oh, goodness.
That's another 75 points right there.
Yeah. That was a big hit for Luke on that one.
Absolutely. That.
And it was quick too. That Deadpool just came in, but that healing factor, I guess, can't be underestimated with when you play a Deadpool character.
It's incredibly, that healing factor is incredibly tough to kill, except it just does not offer as much damage output as what Phil was hoping for, which is probably why he swapped over to the ranged attack Deadpool. But as soon as that opening came up, Luke saw that Deadpool wasn't healing up anymore, and he just went straight for it.
Which is a smart play, obviously.
No, it definitely is. With less than 6 minutes on the clock right now, all Luke has to do is not give away too many points right now. Essentially, all he has to do is...
95-point lead, looks like?
Yeah. Pretty much all he has to do is keep Mini Shredder alive, and the game is his.
Ha 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 ha, Joker.
Oh, he's coming back. Oh, Phil's going to try to go for the Peace Machine. Alright, so we're doing a running shot with an 11 attack on a...
Alright, so we're going to use
Merc
Merc with a
going to be
mouth.
an 11 on a 19 attack. He needs an 8 to hit, and that is not the roll he was looking for.
No, that's rough.
It's going to be another action token and a turn. You're going to have to wait another turn to try to do that again. All right. So, what do you think? What options? If you were Phil right now, what would you try to do?
I honestly can't say that I wouldn't concede at this point. I mean, he could keep his Joker alive, but for 4 minutes, what good's it gonna do? And Deadpool could get an attack, but again, Luke's also got a Joker.
He's gunning after the Peace Machine right now.
Oh no, that's Mini Shredder. I think.
The Mini Shredder.
Oh, I'd like to see that.
All right. He did activate the slow-mo bullet time, dealing, I believe, 2 penetrating damage to both the Joker and Mini Shredder.
I think it's one of those too little, too late situations, though, because like I said, with the Joker and...
It could possibly be because Mini Shredder is going to have to come back after with the resurrection.
Right. So even to kill Mini Shredder at this point, which is going to take a lot of Phil's effort, isn't going to do the good he hopes it might.
Indeed it won't. So he's just going to have to try to keep his pieces alive and not give Luke any more points.
Oh, I forgot about the tank, and I forgot about Iron Maiden over there. No, Iron Maiden? Iron Heart. I think Iron Maiden would have been a way better name for Marvel to give the Lady Iron Man.
There actually were Iron Clicks.
Huh?
There were actually Iron Maiden clicks.
What?
Yeah.
That's
They're based off of the album names.
What?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
All right, so it looks like Joker is going to take either that's a heal or a damage. We're just going to consider his options and see what he can do to try to get even more ahead than he already has right now. I mean, so far, all there is the Ironheart and the Merc with the mouth and Phil's Joker. So all of them are definitely not easy picks to go after.
I don't think any of Phil's targets are easy targets, but again, they don't have to be at this point for Luke.
No, all he has to do is just keep his stuff alive.
Yeah, all he has to do is not die, which I'm doing right now. So how hard can it be?
If you're not dying, you're already doing a goodish job. All right, so just a little under 2.5 minutes left, and we're quickly approaching crunch time, and Phil's going to have to pull something out really quickly in order to get close to getting ahead.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to have to pull a miracle right now.
The Mini Shredder would help him, but just barely, and he'd have to kill him twice.
Yeah, Phil would have. There may not be enough time for that.
It'd still only be a 5-point lead, so really anything could go wrong.
I mean, as long as it's a 5-point lead. Oh.
It's like Joker's doing a breakaway there.
Oh, he's gonna try to.
Oh, Mini
Shredder's
Shredder.
gonna go in for the.
Mini Shredder! Tiny Shredder!
All right, let's So he could deal penetrating damage, possibly deal additional attacks, but Deadpool right now probably has Impervious from Eclipso.
Yeah.
So
I think
Joker's not going to be dealing any hits. He could deal possibly 3 damage.
I believe this is all.
Oh, we're getting Blade's Claw's Fangs.
We're getting what?
We're getting a Blade's Claw's Fangs attack from the Joker.
Oh.
Oh, and that's knockback.
1 minute
Dealing
left
2
in the
damage,
round.
knocking him back. All right, guys, we are in the final 60 seconds of this match.
This is all but over.
Luke is not giving it up right now.
That's last round. Last
Oh, and
Oh,
that
and we're
is
calling
match
an early
call.
match called.
So
Excellent
Phil
work.
has. It's not going to look good for Phil.
Right, it's over. 60 seconds left or not, it's the round. So next we come back with the Elite 8, correct?
Absolutely. And it's top 8.
Top 8
And
from
their
everyone who
hand is
competed
extended,
today.
and Luke is 5-0.
So we'll see you guys when we're back with the Elite Top 8.
Come back and join us when the captain himself, Joey Savage, joins us at the booth. We'll be right back.